Hi again, it's me, the guy that can't seem to know when to quit. I also went and bought Storm Ruler from the Hollow Knight. Alright, let's see what this does. Where is it? Iron Drake Slayer helmet. Is that really what goes along with this? Oh, no, it's not. We go with the Iron Helm. We are Sun Boy. What we're going to do is we're going to go to Farron Keep. Simple, easy, possible. Farron Keep. Oh my god. I never really realized how many items are in Farron Keep, even though it's a super small item. Or a super small area. Okay, Farron Keep. There is a lot of stuff, and it's all tightly packed in a very poisonous, poison-covered poison area of poison. So we're going to try and stay out of the mud for the most part. The benefit of this is we are incredibly overpowered. Theor's Pearl. That is tantamount. That is an incredible find. Okay, but I can only avoid going in the poison for so long. So, here we go. Jailbreaker's key. Okay. That's also a key that I need, so yeah, okay. How do I get up? How do I get up? I don't want to be in the yuck zone. Oh, it's over here. It's over here. Ignore me, Mr. Giant Goat Monster. He's not gonna do that. That's okay, because I can extinguish the flame. Photos taken moments before disaster, am I right? So in order to open the door at the far end of this area, we need to extinguish the 3 giant braziers that are scattered throughout this level. Why touching a bowl turns it off, I don't know. But that's what it takes to clear the way. Once we open that door, it's pretty much a straight shot directly to the boss. Hello. Oh. You're supposed to one-shot me, practically. And you don't. Okay. I was a little bit more scared than I should have been. An emblem. What did I say? Dark Souls was just going to be mostly emblems. After it gets past the stuff needed for some of the other games, it's just going to be emblems. Ooh, hello thing. Ah, it's this way. Okay. Post Duke Fishron. That's exciting. I'm just going to be unable to progress Terraria because of how many, like, world upgrades all the quote-unquote bosses are. What the? I didn't think you'd be here. No. I didn't think NPC invaders could show up. I have now been proven wrong. Oh, good. Alright. It's a lot of stuff. Was that a check? Must have been. I don't want to get poisoned again. I'm going to do my best to get as much stuff as I can out of the swamp before the poison wears off and reapplies itself. That would just be a shame. The poison by itself isn't actually terrible, it's just because of everything attacking you. Okay. Twinkle tight. And we're just gonna keep making our way around the swamp in a clockwise fashion. Basilisks are going to be an issue, though. Remember how Curse is an insta-kill? Yeah, these things just breathe it. Ah. No. No, 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 we're not dealing with that today. Aldrich's Ruby. Very useful. Can successfully get out of here. 5 rings. No, get out of it, get out of it, get out of it. Okay. This is not a mimic. Missile expansion, Crystal Sage's staff, which is helpful if I ever wanted to cast sorceries. It's not very helpful for me right now. And we're poisoned again. That's okay. That's less okay. Where am I? Oh wait, big door's right there. Okay, I know where I'm at. I know where I'm at. Let me out. Let me out. I don't want to be in the slug tub anymore. No. Okay, well, comically enough for how much damage I've taken and all the dangerous stuff I've been through, there's actually one bonfire in Farron Keep, and it's right here. Which is good for me, because that means I won't die. But that also means that I'm on the wrong side of the level. So, freshly cured of poison, I'm just going to drop off the side right here and pick this up. Frozen weapon. An interesting spell to be certain, as ice isn't really an element. Ow. Hey look, it's my best friend, a giant crab. No, oh, I was so close. I mean, it can't kill me. It's really weak. Ow. No. You are rude. I dislike your way of doing things. Namely, crushing me. Extra life. An emblem. A rusted coin. Xanthos trousers. Piece of a heart. Painting guardian crown. And a homeward bone. That's everything in this area. Now, I had someone ask me, why do I read off every single item that I get? And the answer for that is simple. These videos are very long. I don't expect people to physically watch the gameplay for 100% of the time. So, if you are looking at your other monitor, or, you know, just don't want to... Hold on. Bad. If you're looking at another monitor and you just are listening to the video, I want you to be able to know what I'm picking up. Oh goodness, the Deku Leaf for Wind Waker. One of the biggest items. So bringing the Deku Leaf and the Ballad of Gales back. What? What? Okay, I don't know if these things are weak to fire, but I'm certainly checking. Okay, you know what? I don't care if they're weak to fire. Wait, this is only one check. There's 3 checks listed over here. They're inside you, aren't they? Tower of the Gods, small key, and I was right. The checks are in them. Wasn't worth it, but now we know that for certain. Okay, I'm gonna run over here. Do some stuff over here. Try not to die. Probably die anyway. There's so many corpses in this bog. I know that there's something behind me. I just cannot be bothered to care at the moment. And extinguish flame. I'm about to get stepped on. And skip and dodge. Oh. Mistimed the dodge, end up getting shanked. Getting, like, super shanked into a wall. The reason why I'm not upset is it's literally right here. This is where I died. Right here. So, no big deal. Literally no progress lost. Argonian shells. Something. Ah. Lifeblood cocoon. Which means literally extra ablative HP when I go to fight Radiance. Literally incredible. Okay. Time to clear out the rest of this horrid little sweltering pot of pestilence. Me using expert alliteration there to make a bunch of P sounds really quickly. There's a check right here for Hunter's Journal. Not that money's going to mean anything anymore. Not for Hollow Knight, at least. Tingle Tuner. It's definitely a main item, but it doesn't unlock anything. I shouldn't say main, then. It's an inventory item. I don't have a Game Boy to hook up to it. Missile expansion. Okay. A fading soul. What I feel like. Great heavy soul arrow. Oh, that was not the check that I thought it was. Okay, the checks are out here. A little further out here. Soul of Slave Knight Gale. Oh, is that all? Final boss of the final DLC. No big deal. It's worth a lot, but it's not really... Oh, hello. No, 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 no. Okay. That's supposed to be an insta-kill. Supposed to be a kill grab. But because I'm so high leveled, with such high armor, it doesn't matter. A poison gem and a poison gem. Just keep dodging through the muck. World, you can go the distance, singing badly on purpose. Ah, Magma Stone. Okay. Another item that I kind of need the Goblin Tinkerer for in Terraria, but it's useful. Certainly has a use. And the last item for this area is up there, and then we can go to the other side of the swamp. We're almost done, I promise. Super, mega, ultra promise, and then we can go back to Wind Waker. Okay, extinguish the bowl, unlock the door. We can go find some stuff that's cool some more. We go get to fight one of the 4 actual lords. No. No, 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 no. I know that you have your job to murder me and all that, but I say no, which means you have to listen. Okay, where the heck am I facing? This way. Okay, we go this way. Cross the muck. Luckily, I can use the auto tracker and what is disappearing off of it as I collect stuff to kind of make a pseudo map. Okay. Another emblem. We're actually making a dent in the emblem requirement now. Some Estes soup. Another emblem. Would you look at that? Being a sneaky little emblemy boy. I think that's our next thing right there, is under that slug. Nope, I was wrong, it's right there. Also, there's that. Right? Yeah. This guy isn't too much to worry about either. Oh, Crown of Dusk. No. No. No, 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 no. We don't play that game. The game that I do play is where is the thing I want? It's in this corner, I think. Oh wow, it's way back in there. Okay. This should be 4 items. Soul of Pontiff Solomon, Titanite, Old Moonlight, and Lightning Urn. Okay. So that is everything in the base level of the swamp. That's everything on the ground. Now we climb this tower. I'm not joking. There's a ladder. But don't worry, the top of the tower is relatively small. It just is needed. That way I don't die on the ladder, I'm going to chug that. And up I go. And I'm still going. And I'm still going. And we're finally at the top. This is where we get to meet the goodest boy in the game. Great Wolf of Farron. Great, the good boy. Join the Covenant. Get whatever the Covenant item is. Good scent. Okay. That's one of the checks done. Need to figure out how to get that. Which that really isn't that hard. We just walk around. Big thing we want to be careful of is there is that. And a little baby crystal lizard. There we go. Lightning arrow. Cool. Wall. And the thing we just saw. Alright. From here, go up. And this is going to be a really, really short little area. I keep saying that. I'm trying to fool myself, I think, more than anyone. I promise we'll circle back to Wind Waker. But it's a really nice view. You can see to the edge of the skybox from here. Let's see. That's... Where are we going? That's the chapel. Anyway, that'll get edited out, I'm sure of it. We're gonna fight that. That's where we're going, by the way. There lets us go to the Boreal Valley, which is... You can barely see a few buildings back there. You can see a spire right near my feather. Anyway. This is the old stray demon. It's going to go bye-bye very quickly. Ow. I suppose it is still true that a giant stone monster can, Hello. Yes, I know, I'm very squishy. I'm leaving that in because of how funny that was. He just crushed me in his hand and threw me over the edge. And that's all you wrote. Progressive Wave Beam. Wait, that actually means that I have the Super Missile combo for Wave Beam. Nice. Weaver Song. Nice. An emblem. Should be, according to this, one more thing somewhere. Hello? Ah, it's after killing something in Archdragon Peak. Something spawns there and another spot. Okay, fine. Now, fun little fact, you actually fly over this spot before you actually go to the Undead Settlement, because that's the church. Go there. Walk along this little precarious ledge of infinite danger. Eventually reach this. Our goal is to not spook that thing until we can get close enough to murderize it. The issue is, there's two. Okay. That is actually where the Undead Settlement starts. You land right there. Lothric Castle is up there. Just a fun little fact that the entire world's kind of interconnected like this. Izalith Staff, good for pyromancies, bad for much else. Run down this little lizard before it scurries away. No. No, no, no. I was gonna let you live, but you decide to be annoying. Which is normally what determines if something lives or dies. Not its danger level. No, 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 no. If I find it annoying. Oh, that was close. Okay. I'll meet you back down at the big door that we opened by lighting all the torches. Toodles! Alrighty, we leave this land of poison and pestilence behind us as we go into what I call the Sword Valley. It's easy to see why, huh? But me trying to be funny aside, Crystal Sage Rapier +5. Really good weapon if you are a sword spellcaster, because it can be used as a summoner, not summoner, played too much Terraria today. It can be used as a spell catalyst. Dark Knights, ignore them both, run around here, and there's some stuff. Oh. Hi. You're annoying no matter what place in the game I put you. Anyway, I'll be back up in a few seconds and I'll make him regret everything. Okay, there's my stuff. We're not going to get that stuff just yet. We're going to go this way. What was that targeting? Okay, whatever. So, when we were going through the other side, we came across this crystal lizard through a fence that we couldn't get to. Now we can get to him. And I'm going to take full advantage of his wake-up animation. Do as much damage as possible. Whispering Root. Okay, whatever. Now we can go back to Crucifixion Woods if we wanted to. Okay. 5 items remain until the boss. Actually, 4 items, and then the boss is the 5th item. So, we just go down here. We grab this. Grab this. Wiggled sword fragment to work back to the bonfire we last rested at. And we're going to use an ember. What this is going to do is let me see any potential summon signs from NPCs, just in case there are any. Normally this requires having completed people's quests up until the point where they join you on this, but you know, the chronic butt stabber needs no allies. He just likes to have them. Okay. Make our way up here. Where there's this dude. What's funny is those Dark Knights from earlier will actually fight the goats. Brass armor. I'd rather not get jumped by him, so I'm going to take him out now. And if there's any summon sign at all for me to use, it'll be one near here. The fact that I don't see anything. Oh, there's one. Yeah, Blackhand Goddard. We're gonna ask him for help. Hear that? Sounds like they started the party without me. Don't they know it's rude? Start without the guest of honor. Let's go. Abyss Watcher. I'm able to do a bunch of damage, but that doesn't change the fact that they can still kill me if I'm not careful. That's the issue, though. Is anyone that noticed the word Watchers? But here's a small little secret. If one shows up with red eyes, it can friendly fire. And it's a good way to get heat off yourself. But Mr. Chronic Butt Stabber McGee has some butt stabbing to do. But one of the biggest themes, as you saw from the first boss on, from Gundyr, Dark Souls 3 loves having a phase 2. And as the rules of Dark Souls stand, if the music doesn't stop, neither does the boss fight. Because this is a Lord of Cinder. Cinder means fire. And he's about to bring the heat. But then again, so am I. But not literally, because the closest I have to a fire weapon is the Demon Scar. And I don't have that leveled. This is when it gets a whole lot harder. And he becomes a whole lot more fire resistant. Butt stab. Get him on it down. Get him while he's down. Yeah, kill him. No, 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 no. Bad. Bad. He's dead. You got him, Goddard. Good job. You did it. And that's where the next area is, the Catacombs of Karthus, but that's not our destination. Oh no. Because every time you beat a Lord of Cinder, the shop gains extra shop items. And that's what we're after, ladies and gentlemen. That is where our song is. The swan song, one might say. A very particular game. Ballad of Gales. Alrighty. That taken care of? Let's go get some items. Alrighty. With a hop, skip, and a jump, we go to the Mother and Child Islands. And right there, is Void Soul. Let's go beat one of the 6. Okay, let's try this. No. Oh. That was gross. Yeah, good job. Good job. Yeah. Yeah, you help. Good job, you help. What? I will get good. The start of every journey is something truly special. It's the start of something new, something exciting, something fresh. The end of a journey can be just as exciting, though. Sense of completion, sense of excitement. The end. But this is the end of only one journey. After this, there are 5 more. Time to fight the sun. Oh. Still hurts. Lasers. The sun fires lasers. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Ah! Ooh. Phase 1 done. I've charged. Gonna be top or bottom. Come on. Where is that? Okay, there's that. Oh. Oh, I'm dead. Hi, you. Come on, full heal. Full heal. There we go. Go. Final climb. Take this, you stupid moth. And with one final series of hits, Hollow Knight, one of the 6 randomized games of this archipelago, goes down, giving all of its items to every other game. Missile expansions, energy tanks, an artifact, dozens and dozens of items. At least 12 emblems. And many, many more go shooting out to the other games to only help me beat them faster. One journey ends. 5 continue. But I made a promise, didn't I? Wind Waker. I intend to keep it. So I'll see you back on the high seas. Alrighty, and we are back going into the Wind Waker to get quite a few items at this point. There's so much for us to do. But the reason why we're at the start screen is this is going to be the first game I load up since beating Hollow Knight. So, let's see the just absolute loot explosion. So currently I'm sitting at 8 hearts, 2 pieces of the Triforce, and 2 pearls. Let's see what happens. Sitting at 10 hearts, max money, Deku Leaf, 3 pieces of the Triforce, almost an 11th heart container. Cinema. Pure cinema. But, since we're on Dragon Roost Island, we have some stuff we can do right here. So, let's get on with it. So, our first thing is just right back here. We're going to go, and we are just going to learn this song. That is the wrong button. And an Archipelago item is mine, which is the magic stone plate ring for Dark Souls. Not the greatest thing, but hey, it's something. And after we're done with Dragon Roost Island, both what we can do in the cavern and the island itself, I'm going to show a little trick that I know how to do. Regarding getting a particular check earlier than you really have any right to, by using the game against itself. And this isn't a glitch with like terrain or collision, it's literally just using the game against itself. What this area is basically 4 little mini combat rooms. You light them all, and the main door unlocks. So I'll see when the door is unlocked, because it's just tiny little enemies. And just like that, the last door opens. Now, our main goal here today is get some stuff, but we need to get enough checks to buy a hint. That hint being... Let's see what this is. Profaned Coal. That's going to be really good because that lets us modify our weapons in a different way, possibly allowing us to get bleed on the Raven Quills. Crow Quills. I can never get that weapon's name right. Anyway, we need to get enough points to buy 2 hints. One for the Mirror Shield and one for the second Earth Temple small key. Because if we can get the Goblin Tinkerer from the Earth Temple, then we can flip over to Terraria, gear up to kill the Ice Queen, and then with that, we can beat Dark Souls. Beating Dark Souls will give us so much stuff across so many games, it might just be the end of the mini-series if I manage to do that. And... hi, box. 11th heart container. You know, when I first made it to this island, I dreaded the idea of early Lothric. While the idea of early Lothric is still terrifying to me, and anyone that manages to pull it off is impressive in my book, it doesn't seem so impossible anymore. It seems doable. So I thought I'd need the Chloranthy ring to have the stamina regen to beat Dancer, because she requires a lot of dodging. But no, I didn't even need that. I just needed confidence and patience to just slowly poke her down. This is, post-challenge editing, Argonian Sam here. I specifically mean people that do early Lothric before they've even gone to the Undead Settlement. For this puzzle, it's quite simple. You just make the wind point towards that little island, and you glide over to it, you change the wind direction, you change the wind direction. Because that process takes a little bit, I'll just see you when we're in the cave that's at the end. And just like that, we're in the cave. So, we're gonna go in and find our way around. 6 Titanite chunks. Even though there was a check in Dark Souls, that's 6 of them all at once. Alright, that is all of Dragon Roost proper done, at least. So what we're gonna do is... we need bombs. Let me check real quick to see how many things we need to get a hint. Okay, so one of the Earth Temple small keys that I need is found in Skyrail Act 3, which is a shadow stage in Sonic that we don't have unlocked yet. So I would need at least 69 emblems, which I'm pretty sure we don't have. We're sitting in the mid-50s right now. We need more emblems in order to unlock that. But there are 3 keys to the Earth Temple. So potentially I might not need to do that. What we really need is the Mirror Shield. I was gonna laugh if that was the Mirror Shield. The Dragon Slayer Armor's Electric Great Axe. That's funny. The Wind Waker was held by the Dragon Slayer armor, and I found out about it on this island. On this island, I get his axe. That's incredible. Okay. So I'm not going to go in Dragon Rouge Cavern at this exact moment. Instead, I'm going to be going over here to show something that's a bit funny. At least in my opinion. But there's a really easy check that you can do over here. Just by going this way. So if you have the Swift Sail, what that does is it changes the wind's direction to always be at your back. So if you come at the island exactly like that, it'll put the wind right in the right direction. And all we have to do for this check, come up here, jump off, and glide to that little outcrop of grass you can see right in front of me. Inside that is a tiny little alcove with a box. And that box is now mine. That's incredible. Okay, now we have tier 3 sword. Not the full master sword just yet. It's not the one that, you know, we can beat the game with. We still need quite a few items. Namely all 3 tiers of bows, which means it is absolutely locked behind Metroid, because we know where one of the bow upgrades is in Metroid. Okay, so we're going to be heading straight down to this island. Now this island is called the Islet of Steel. And basically it's guarded by a bunch of boats with guns that fire cannons. And you need your own cannon, or bombs, to be able to get in there. However, there's a little bit of a way that you can use the game against itself here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pull up right next to these things, right next to these gunboats. We're going to stay right here. Now what they're going to do is they're going to try and shoot me. All of them. And they're going to be able to hit their allies with that bomb. And right before I actually drown, I'm going to get back on the boat. Hop back out. That bird got eviscerated. Second hit. And the boat goes down, and I can get in there without needing bombs, allowing you to get this check early in a randomizer that requires bombs. Now I need 17 checks to be able to get another hint to find out where the mirror shield is. So we're going to be in Wind Waker for a little bit at least. But hopefully it's not as painful as it was before for me to do this. And that is the Crescent Moon Sword. I know bosses are going to be easy with the Master Sword. Only one of them is actually programmed with enough health to take it. Okay. We're going to warp over to Windfall before it turns night. Because there are a few more checks that I can get in Windfall now that I actually have, you know, stuff. Specifically one thing. There's exactly one thing left. And we're just going to go up here. To this dancing man. We're going to get his attention. If we pull out the Wind Waker, he'll be like, "Oh my gosh, you have a musical instrument. Can you teach me this dance?" There's the check. And we're looking at 3 normal fire bombs. Good job. Good job, dude. Okay. No. I don't care, child. Genuinely and wholeheartedly, don't care. And we're gonna flip a U-turn because I'm heading in the wrong direction. And we're heading back this way. So now that we have the Giant's Gauntlet and the grappling hook, we can get 2 more checks inside Paw Isle. And inside the cave again. And luckily for us, this is the last time I ever need to come in here. We make our way over to the right. And it's behind this rock that you cannot sidle behind. Titanite shard. You know, it's kind of crazy how, like, people came together to program this honestly impressive mod. Like, getting all these games and, like, being able to modify them to give each other items in real time is an insane thing. Just grappling hook, stop, climb up, and you keep doing that until you're at the top. That's an emblem. And Link's kneecaps aside, we'll just grab that little heart right there and we're fine. Back outside. Straight south. One of the fairy isles. Because they all just kind of live in giant seashells for some reason. I mean, I wouldn't, personally, but you know, to each their own. Hello. Can I have a thing? I need many, many things. Large soul of a deserted corpse. Alrighty. And our next check is going to be all the way back at Outset Island, so I will see you back there. Alrighty, touching down at Outset Island. Alrighty, back on Outset Island. We are going to be heading all the way to the top here. This is easier done during the day, but you can do it at night, even though there are enemies that do spawn up here during the nighttime. Now, there are 2 ways to do this. Like I said, there's 2 ways to do this. One is go up onto the rock behind you. Up there. And jump off. Oh, that's not what I like to do. What I like to do to actually get over there, actually come up here. This actually gives you the same amount of height because it's closer and you don't have as much drop off. And just last some grass to get some magic back. Easy peasy stuff. And you can make your way up and over here. No, thank you. I am not interested in what you're selling. And there's another great fairy. And item. Oh wow, it's a letter, thanks. But in actuality, it is the Artifact of Sun for Samus, making one more artifact checked off that list. But that's the only thing for Outside Island. We're going to make our way back outside. We're now at 9 out of 18 points. 9 more checks, and we can see where the Mirror Shield is. I think the Mirror Shield will actually allow us to get into Earth Temple, because you get the Mirror Shield halfway through the Earth Temple, which means it's used for the other half. Which means if we can get it early, we can skip that other half. The first half. Because post-Goblin Army is after the other. It's in the second half of the dungeon, which means with the Mirror Shield, we might not need keys at all. Probably should have looked at that first before I used my points on where the keys are, but it's fine. So, our next check is twofold, so we're going to be going over to this island, and it has 2 checks in it. Okay, this is a bit of a weird island. Our goal is to play golf. And if you think I'm joking, I'm very much not. That first one's easy. Second one is a little harder. You can curve your shot like this. It'll actually go in the direction that the wind gust goes, not in the direction it would physically and or realistically go. For this one, you don't get to throw it in place, you just have to send it. Because there's a little bit of a slant, you want to aim slightly to the right. Not where we grow. And come on. Come on. Please. At least go off the side. Okay, there we go. And I got it in. Just winning the golf minigame will actually give you the box, but that's not what we're going to do first. So we're actually going to go inside the cave that's at the top of the island. So otherwise we'd have to drop down and walk all the way around. Why are they all purple? That was not on purpose, nor helpful. Alright, now this is a minor combat cave, so we're going to have to deal with some baddies. Luckily, the Master Sword kind of makes everything easier. Hi. Oh. Rocket butt. Uh-huh. I don't play with rocket butts. the end of the day, you're just a bug. Get squished. And a thing for me. Artifact of Jozo. That's kind of funny that it was literally 2 artifacts back to back like that. But then again, the important items are running out ever since Hollow Knight kind of just exploded everywhere, so I guess it makes sense. So we're just going to do a quick and change the wind to go that way instead. We're going to do a hop, skip, and a jump and get the second box. And this is an ember. Alright, let's see. Where else could we feasibly go with what we have? I know what we're doing. Because it says on my tracker that we can do part of Forbidden Woods. So I hovered it. It's like, well, what does part count as? It's everything except the boss. But boss keys aren't included in key lunacy. Which means we can clear the entire dungeon. Which is definitely enough checks to get the hint for the mirror shield. And who knows what other wonderful things we'll find inside. Hi. 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 No. And the items that we need for this are the grappling hook, the Wind Waker, and the Deku Leaf. Those are the only key items you have at this point in the game normally. Now there is one tiny check that I don't want to go get. Oh, I'm not gonna. Just joking. I'm going to be getting it. I just, well, I'm gonna need to do a little bit of a jump cut to go get it. It's fine. But this is the Zelda episode. This is primarily and wholly and squarely going to be Wind Waker. Now, if they wanted to make my dream come true, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, triple combo randomizer. That would just be incredible. Open a box, is like, you got a piece of a heart, and I'm like, well, that's wonderful, but do you know how vague that is? But those are 3 games that I absolutely adore. I am just sad that Twilight Princess is not yet a part of the Archipelago group of games. It may one day be, but I doubt it. It's very hard to mod that. The Golden Spell Scroll. Okay. Good. And going the right direction. No, it's not. Change the wind again. And we're gonna go all the way out to this island. And useful, not useful, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this box. Dragon Roost Cavern Small Key. That's incredibly useful. Now, what we're gonna do, we're actually gonna do something a little special. It's a little tiny skip that I know. That is more fun than useful. Unless you're like a diehard speedrunner, and then this is actually kind of useful. So in order to get to the Forsaken Woods, you have to do everything that I just did. Use all those little, like, blast-off pods to get up to that little ledge that I jumped from. Except you have to go in the other direction. And I'll get in the boat to show this, because it's easier for me to navigate. So what you're supposed to do is get the sail out first of all. Go to this little island, change the wind direction, and then go straight over. What we're going to do is we're going to aim right at this place, use the swift sail to change the direction. We are going to wait right about here. Yeah, I think that's right. For a cool little thing that you can do. You're supposed to use this to get an extra updraft with the leaf. So you get out of the boat and you pull out the leaf at the same time. And it skips that entire sequence of needing to pull out the Wind Waker and change the wind direction twice. And as long as you weave your way through the Peahats, you don't need to do it again. And you can enter the Forsaken Woods without even needing to go into the Deku Tree area. That's a cool little skip that I learned. I'm pretty happy that I've learned to master it as well as I have. So the compass and the map are non-randomized, which means they are always going to be in the dungeons that they are for. A little bit of a disappointment because it does mean that 2 of the checks are always going to be disappointments, but for the most part, it's not going to be too crazy bad. And then we're just going to go through the level like normal, like how you're supposed to. Grabbing boxes as we go. Making these chews regret the day that they were gelled. I don't know what you consider that. Black Iron Helm. And there's a second check, actually, at the top of this room that goes undiscovered by a lot of people. Mainly because it just contains rupees, I think. It's not useful. I remember that much. It's been so long since I played this game vanilla that I don't know what the boxes are supposed to contain. But you just go all the way up to this room. And you keep going up. Just gonna quickly pull this out and kill it. And normally you'd go through there, but for our purposes, we're gonna keep going up because there are more of these little buds. You can fire yourself into this little nook right here that has a box. And Soul of a Nameless Soldier. Even though it wasn't useful, it's checked now. And each one of these takes us closer to finding out where the mirror shield is, which will allow us to put together a cool little spider web of where things are and what they do. Now, growing up, I always thought the way that you pass these platforms is you have to jump on them and then, you know, push against those again, because it's how you got the platform to come down here. No, you just push back. It's just propulsion, basic propulsion. And you can get back out here, and now you're in the next room. And we're not going to go here, we're going to go here. And we're going to murder this plant. Up inside its bud when it resprouts. And glide around this corner past these 2 little walnuts. Another thing. An entire Titanite slab. Wonderful. Love reinforcing my items to +10 if I can. Luckily, you don't need to reinforce armor in Dark Souls 3, another benefit compared with Dark Souls 2. A game that I do love for its own reasons. But I don't love it as much as 3. Just gonna make our way through here. Now, what you're normally supposed to do is you're supposed to use the Deku Leaf like we did with golfing to blow that nut. out of the tentacles and then throw it at this. But when you have the boomerang, you can just pop it like that. Easy peasy, no worries. Swing on this here thing. Here we go, we do, we be. We only have a single small key, which does make me a little nervous, but we're gonna try and make do without using it, if we can help it. We're gonna do that by going through here first. This is where the big meat of the temple is. A silver rupee. Too bad I don't have a wallet for it. That's the disappointing thing with rupees in this particular game. In Twilight Princess, excess rupees had a use with the magic armor. Armor that drained your wallet constantly just by wearing it. But if you ever got hit, it would take a large chunk of your rupees and you'd take no damage. Now, when it comes to this game, magic armor is different. It doesn't work like that. But, just gonna break that. We're gonna walk over here and we're gonna throw it. And it's gonna be long enough distance, and we're gonna get this check as well. Painting Guardian Waistcloth. Now we're going to do a bit of a cool thing right here, where we're going to pick up this bomb, walk over here, turn around, and actually place it. We're going to use the iframes from this, along with rolling constantly, to actually slip through those vines without getting knocked back. That'll allow us to actually get this item without going all the way around. That is the lucky coin for Terraria, which increases the amount of money that you get. That would have been useful when I was trying to get the Tiki armor, so that way I wouldn't, die horribly. But it's fine. It's fine, I promise. Okay. And we're just going to make our way up and around and over and all these wonderful words that mean going over there. And I believe up there. Oh, let's work on doing that. Somewhere up here. Walk onto all 5 of these tentacles, or vines, or whatever you want to consider them. You cut them all before they heal, that'll break, drop that down, and you're good to go. What we're going to do now, because of where the checks are that are remaining, we're actually going to use the key. We are going to use the key. There are more checks through this door than there are downstairs, I'm pretty sure, so this is worth it. And if not, well, that's a miscalculation on my part that I'm willing to pay for. But if my tracker is correct, it does have a little green one instead of a gray one next to it. So there might only be one key in this dungeon. If that's true, then I'm, well, a little relieved, because I would have hated to have used the only key I had when there was no other option. Or rather, if there were other options. That is a proceed, and this is where the mini-boss is. The mini-boss is something we've already experienced, so we're not going to worry too much about it. Watch how fast this goes down. And just like that, we're done. Goes by a little bit faster if you don't have a bunch of morphs, weighing you down, but the point is still simple. The boomerang, which you get from this box normally, just takes its wings off really fast. And there's the map, making this trip in here virtually worthless. Yay! Don't you just love pointless things? Anyway, lock onto this, boom, boom, opens. Now, fun fact, the reason why those are there like that is so that way you can't escape with the grappling hook and you learn to use the boomerang. However, there's other things you can use to hit it. Because of how the game works, there's a small grace period where they won't turn off again. So in that grace period, you can actually do a sneaky little thing called use another ranged weapon and you can hit them both. Hi. If you're going to be a problem, I'm going to clip your wings. And now he won't be a problem ever again. Ooh, that was close. Okay, jump from weird plant tendril to plant tendril. Go up, and behind these trees, which I'm going to let stay growing, we get a mask. Drop back down, catch ourselves, and proceed through the next door. Now, this room is quite easy. Just slice all the vines. Or at least enough of the vines where it won't impede you gliding across. And there we go. And that's a box. Another silver rupee. Isn't that just a treat? Okay, well, in this giant hole that we created by dropping this, we can drop all the way down and barely catch ourselves, and make our way over to the next set of doors. And we learn that these things are very light and can get blown around by a light breeze. Doesn't change the fact that they still want to grab onto me. Nope. In order to get this chest, you can't cut that down just yet, so we're going to go across, we're going to cut it down afterwards, and get the mirror trousers. So, cut it down. From there, drop down here. We pluck this bomb plant, run, jump, throw, jump right after it, and we're in the next room already. No, I don't think so. We're not going to deal with that. Hi. Yes. Oh, yeah, I forgot the boomerang insta-kills those. Nice. From there, we're going to play a fun little mini-game called Bomb Bowling. It's even simpler than it sounds. Oh, a heart. Thank you, boomerang. Now, there's actually 2 checks in this room. I don't know if we can get one of them. But for the first one, we're going to pluck this, and we're just going to throw it. And that's going to kill that. Which opens that up for us. Second one, you have to uncover via bomb blast, which definitely won't happen now. Okay, we're going to kill these because I'm sick of them regaining their propellers and flying towards me. We're going to try and bomb this. And it actually worked. I wasn't quite sure if the range was big enough. Like the throw distance. Okay. So that's a hidden box that only shows up if you blow it up. So we're going to jump here. We're going to slide into the center of this place to get box number 1 in here. That is the Catechus Round Shield for Dark Souls. Big surprise, it's another Dark Souls item. And from there, we can go and get the second box that we uncovered. And I'm going to make an educated guess and say this is the boss key. It's not. Alrighty. So, back in this room. Gotta cut this down again. Oops. Make sure you have all 4. And there we go. Oh. That was an interesting interaction of collisions. Okay, so you don't want to actually miss the flower, because missing the flower means you have to climb up a ladder and listen to me ramble on more. Okay. And then you just use the leaf to steer. And we're going to do a little bit of, I want to say vehicular manslaughter, but this isn't really a vehicle. More like flotsam manslaughter. Or, you know, considering this isn't a man, it's more like just flotsam-based calamari. I'm also really interested in sticking to this wall. I don't know why. But just as easily as it came, it went, and we move on to the next room. And this is where the boss key normally is, and I'm going to laugh if it's back in its normal spot, because there's only 2 boxes left in the dungeon, so it's either this one or the next one. And you let it go, and watch the camera do something very satisfying. Ding ding. Soul of a Crystal Sage. Very cool. And take a step outside, and mini-boss time. However, mini-bosses, when you actually have the Master Sword at almost full power, is a very easy thing indeed. They don't really stand a chance. And from there, we're just going to make a quick little stop on the ceiling. Go back into this room. Easy peasy. As long as you have enough mana left over, you can actually fly directly over the water and get back into the main room. Use the leaf on that to get the wind blowing, and use this to get some lift. Bada bing, bada boom, you're now back in the main room. I'm gonna laugh if I was wrong, though, about the boss key being randomized, and it's actually just out there in the world somewhere. But I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's in this room. But we're gonna find that out real quick. A box? Who could have known? Me? Yeah. Okay, no, the boss keys are locked to their dungeons alongside the maps. Okay, so let's go clear the dungeon, so we can full clear the entire dungeon. And this is going to be a very simple, very quick boss kill. But I'll do my best to explain the mechanics of the boss in the time that it's going to be alive. So, we've been cutting things off the ceiling with the boomerang the entire dungeon. That's the mechanic. Just do that, but while something's trying to attack you. And the easiest way to do it is go into aiming mode, just try and sweep your camera over the main body of the tentacles, and you should hit enough of them. And there's only one left. They will heal if you give them enough time, but it's very generous. So, you just do a full combo with a quick spin, and it's dead in a single damage phase, just like that. No resistance given. And that right there is a progression item. That is the last pearl needed to access an entire dungeon. Sadly, I can't progress through that dungeon without bombs, so the best I can get from that is a singular check. But it's still kind of cool the way that it's programmed to always face the camera. But that's Nehru's Pearl. So, we're going to make our way back out, and while it's loading, I'm going to type in where the thing is. Okay, I know where the mirror shield is, and I can go get it immediately. Like, not even like a 5-minute detour. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to see you over in Metroid. Alrighty, so we're going to be getting a lot of stuff really quickly, including like 7 artifacts and more missiles than you can shake a stick at. Also, we have the Phazon suit just outright. Yeah, so we are at 95 missiles and 10 energy tanks all of the sudden. So if we actually go into our logbook, we are only missing 3 artifacts now, and we can actually finish Metroid Prime as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to completely ignore this. We're going to save warp back to the starting room. Now, I'm kicking myself just a little bit because this is a check I could have gotten a while ago. I just really didn't want to. I also have the Wave Buster, which is the charge beam combo for this, which is nice. I could have gotten this a while ago. I've had all the stuff to do it. It's just really far out of the way for a single item, and I figured there was no way that it was actually going to be a progression item. And while I was wrong, I take solace in the fact that I would have needed the Wind Waker to make use of it anyway, so I'm not too wrong. I'm still wrong. I'm just justified having not gotten it until now. Just gonna go all the way back through here to the Beetle Arena. We're gonna go past the Beetle Arena. Also, the ghosts are gonna get mad again. Up here, hit the boost ball. And we're just going to hold the right trigger as soon as we come out here because it's going to immediately turn into a spider ball track. We're going to hope to not get shot off the ceiling by the ghosts. And we're going to open this wave beam door. Now, the reason I didn't come back here is twofold. One, it's a very long puzzle, or a very tedious puzzle, just for one check. But there's also a second check down in the water right there that gives you, no, I don't know what it gives you, but it requires gravity suit. So all we have to do is fire 3 missiles at that spot, and then 3 missiles at that spot. And I think you're starting to get the reason why I didn't come down in here. You basically just mash the missile button, and then you do it 2 more times on the upper layers. So the entire tower is going to collapse. It's going to come down a layer. That structural integrity is going to break more blocks. And those blocks breaking is going to create more openings for missiles. So I'll see you at the very, very top once I've broken everything. Okay, 36 missiles later, and we finally cracked the building in half, and progressive shield. There's the mirror shield. Just like that. So, I'll see you back in Wind Waker. I'm gonna go save this game real quick. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to get 5 really quick back-to-back checks. Because they're all, like, within 2 rooms of each other. So, I'm going to show you what those are. First one's back in this room with the fountain. Once the water is actually, non-toxic, once you beat Flagra, you can hop in here with the morph ball. And as long as the bugs don't hit you off the ceiling, you can just spider ball track over to the drop. So you just fall. Piece of a heart. That's one of the reasons why I grabbed it, is because it is a Wind Waker item, so it'll only be helpful. We're going to go through here into a room that you normally need the Varia suit. Luckily I have the Varia suit. And you also need the grapple beam, which I also have. I go right here and we're going to power bomb this wall. Maiden robe for Dark Souls. We're going to come into this little transition hallway. Now, normally transition hallways don't actually have anything, but if you go into this little morph ball tube that's hidden right here, you can get an undead bone shard, which is very good for Dark Souls. There's going to be these 2 little goobers, so I'll see you after I murder them both, because it's going to be a lot of A button. Okay, after using the letter A more times than the writer for a horror movie, those two things will simultaneously explode, granting us the ability to use the boost ball to activate both these bomb slots. We're going to want to do this one first, because what this one will do is it'll open up this little hallway, little hatchway right here, whereas the other one starts a timer. So, pop that in its spot. And we're just gonna half pipe it down, hop out, and hop right in here. And use the spider ball track to go back into this little nook, grab the item. A vessel fragment that is no longer needed. Sorry, Hollow Knight, but your adventure is done already. So, coming back here is a little adventure with pistons. It does virtually nothing except risk of squishing you, but that only does a little bit of damage and knocks you back. So, we make our way through these little piston-filled hallways, and this is going to pop us out in a very funny little spot. It's going to pop us out in the main room, overlooking that one little drop that we could never get to before now. Court Sorcerer's Staff. Now, funny thing about that little grapple point is you have a split second to actually double jump, look up, and grab it like that. It doesn't work often, because in the time it takes for the grapple beam to travel out of Samus's arm, it can actually go out of range from you falling, so you need to be very quick about it. But, with that said, I'll see you back in Wind Waker. Alrighty. Having gotten the Mirror Shield just inexplicably gives us another letter, so we're gonna get that. The Wind Tingle statue. Fine with me. And we now have the Mirror Shield, which lets us do most of the dungeon we're going to be going to, which is the same one that had the bird girl. Now, while I can go straight to where I know the drop is, I'm still going to do most of the dungeon. I'm still going to try and do most of it at least, because dungeon is dungeon. Want to do. They have the highest density of loot, so I'm going to try and get them all done. I still think it's hilarious that I have the bomb bag upgrade and the quiver upgrade, but I don't have either of those items. I don't have bombs, I don't have the quiver, and yet the game doesn't care. But when I actually get those items, I'm going to have a lot of them. Alrighty. What this will do, if I can successfully do what I'm trying to do. Here's hoping, by the way. But I can get Goblin Tinkerer, which might let me finish Dark Souls. Okay. Here. Now, I haven't used the key yet. Means I probably don't have to worry about wasted it. I'm just going to be paranoid about having accidentally wasted the one key that I need. Don't mind me. I'm allowed to be a little paranoid. So, first things first in our make sure you get this room or else category. We're going to try and get through here without them doing that, but because the floor masters love grabbing her, we're going to have to murder them. Okay. Now, Medley's job here is simple. Stand on this button. That's all she has to do. Hopefully she doesn't screw it up. And with the mirror shield, all we have to do is block and aim the mirror shield directly on those symbols, and they explode from the power of light. Pale shaded trousers. Okay, got some pants. I'm not too upset. Okay, maybe a little upset, but it's fine. Whenever you leave Medley by herself, she will return to the entrance of the room that you were at last. So, this room is quite simple. Play the command melody to mind control the bird, then press A in the light and have her aim the light into the statue's eyes. Now, if you return, she will hold that angle, which allows us to do the exact same thing on the other side of the statue, transforming it into the sun mask. And that'll brighten up the room and get rid of all that hazy, nasty fog. And allow us down here. Oh. That's my bad. Sorry. Sorry, Medley. As we head deeper and deeper into the Earth Temple. Earth Temple. Okay. You have to bring Medley down here. When you do, she'll play a song. Now, this song is so hardcore, so metal, that this rock can't handle it. It didn't have to explode. It was designed, whoever made it, designed it to explode. And we're going to kill these things before they scream at me because they are horrifying. Okay, we're good, we're fine. Everything is perfectly good. Don't worry about the fact that their corpses don't explode for a while. Doesn't mean anything. Just me. I try to avoid the Earth Temple whenever I can, so I might get the rooms backwards. Just forgive me if I do. Gotcha. Okay, I hate this room, but we're gonna do it. Just quickly dash all the way across and grab the box. Repair powder. So why this is useful, why this stuff's useful, is once the fog's gone, we can actually use our items, including our sword. And there's a second chest that shows up, a little secret chest, for killing all of them. Not that you have to convince me. Okay, they are all dead now. Every single one of them has been killed by my hand. Okay, we're gonna make our way back up here. There's a door that needs a key. And hope desperately that I do not need a second key. Because I've been preserving my key, but this wouldn't be the first item that I've gotten when the game says I shouldn't technically be allowed to get it. Okay, we're not going to take Medley in here because she will get grabbed, she'll get yoinked. We don't want her to. But we still have the skull hammer, so we're good. And with the skull hammer, we can not do that. This. Bonk. Oh, by the way, the item that I got from the kill all the hands in the room was 6 gold pine resin, which infuses your weapon with lightning. That's kind of cool. What we are going to do is we are going to chuck her up there, as you do with bird women. Apparently, you just throw them. I don't know. Didn't have a good comment to make there. And we are going to push this block. Now, I think the reason why it counts as a red item is the tracker doesn't know where you're going to use the keys. Which makes sense. But for our sakes... No. Thank you for the idea. Anyway. We're going to do exactly what she just said. And we're going to actually do a combo bounce. We're going to have her do that. And we're going to stand in her beam of light and aim it at the statue that's right across from us. And... no. Bad little Poe. Okay, there we go. And this is somewhere very special. This is the third crypt. Which means this is post-goblin army. The exact check we needed to start making progress in Terraria by combining all of our stuff together. So, I'm going to try and get a little bit further in here by bringing her over to the next statue. And she's going to blow it up too. And yes, you need to listen to it. It won't let you skip this. Are you enjoying the game yet? Ah, that was close. Okay. Down here is the boss door. Going to go this way. And because that works, we aren't going to apologize. And we are going to go into what I consider the worst room ever. Mainly just because you need to swap back and forth between Link and Medley a lot in here. But it's honestly not that terrible of a room. It's just going to make some light come down, and it's a giant multi-room light puzzle. What we're going to do is we're going to put her here, because she's going to need to be right here. So that way we can push this statue over. And now she's standing in the middle of the light. I do wonder if everything, including these temples, is under the sea. Where is such pure sunlight coming from? But, you know, I'm not paid to answer the big questions. I'm not paid. Put this away, and we're going to aim it slightly better, because it has to be aimed right there. And since the chest is visible for us now, we can open it. Another Titanite scale. I'm not going to complain about Titanite scales, because if I can get Freed's Scythe to +5, then I will probably use it above the Crow Quills because of just how much power the boss weapons have behind them. Because I have a little bit of intelligence, it's going to help scale off my intelligence and my faith just a little bit each, but mainly we can add bleed to it and make it scale really high off dex, which it's a scythe, it's already going to scale high off dex. But we're just going to pull this statue in now. And move move it all the way over as far as we are going to be able to. And there we go. Now, this is far easier to do with Link because, well, you don't have to use the song. But if you get the angle just right, nope. It is possible to hit this statue without needing to double reflect it off Medley. Just remember to hit towards the head and you should be fine. Luckily, her AI is at least smart enough to move out of the way when you're pulling a giant stone block statue, so, you know, at least she's not stupid. Now, there are 2 checks left before I am locked out of Earth Temple, and either of them could potentially be the boss key. So we're gonna hope for boss key. Get over here, trying to get the light to go all around the entire room, which we can do pretty easily by just paying attention to where everything is and where it's trying to get us to go, such as, you know, doing that. And doing that. And we're going to see what this is real quick. Undead Legion Gauntlet. Say it once, I'll say it again. Wow, it's a Dark Souls item. Who could have guessed? It's almost as if the game that has 900 items might have at least a few of them. Now, there is one more time where we'll have to take control of Medley to get through this level. And that's fine. Push this over here, and then I take control of her. My bad, two more times, technically. Here. Aim it down right there. Bounce it into this wall. Now the annoying thing is you have to get rid of all 4 tiles separately because each one is blocking, you know, the hallway. But it's not just one big wall. But once you do that, you can pull the last mirror into place, fully completing this giant bouncing light puzzle. And there we go. So, just like the start of the dungeon, take control of Medley. One of these goes right there. Other one goes over here. And with the room fully illuminated and light restored, you can go get the boss key. Which you don't need to bring Medley for. Hi. For these guys, just press A when the thing says to. Cut the back of their armor, and just rip them apart when they can't defend themselves. Kind of hard to tell because of the color randomizer, but those are cursed skulls. So you just need to blow them out with that. Bada bing, bada boom. Once they're dead, you're good. And the door will open. There we go. And that is not the boss key, sadly. So, since that is the only item left in this temple that isn't the boss key, I'm going to save and quit out, and I'll see you back. Okay. As we ascend out of the Earth Temple with loot in hand, we take a look at the map tracker, and there's not much left. Still a little bit. Not much left. Oh, we are going to go and we're going to go take care of one of the fairy islands real quick. Namely the one all the way to the right. But now that we have all three of the pearls, instead of this just being an empty section of ocean, it's going to be a massive tower just rising out of the depths. Which, you know, since we're playing as Link, doesn't faze him one bit. This is a Tuesday for our young hero. Gotta earn that Triforce of Courage somehow. Don't be fazed by anything, ever. And then I think this is the, let's see, this check. That is the auction. Yeah, that's the auction. Meaning there is only this check left that we can do. The rest is either the auction or Beetle's shop ship. That has all the expensive items. And we don't need either of those. So, once we get this, we'll be swapping over, I think, to Sonic. I think Sonic will be a good swap into. Just to check to see how many emblems we have. If there's not enough for me to do anything, then I won't even include it, I'll skip it. And then we're going to go to Terraria for a little bit. See if I can find the Goblin Tinkerer and see how much of an upgrade, just how much of a sheer boost being able to combine all of my accessories is going to be. One. 2. 3. Open sesame. Hello, Miss Fairy. I would like an item. May it please aid my travels and not someone else's. Alright, what is it? Golden Ritual Spear. Which means it's not only not useful, it's not even good. Alrighty, see you over in the next game. Okay, so we're only missing 4 emblems to unlock the next set of levels. So I'm going to take a trip around Dark Souls to see if a combination of all the shopkeepers can give me just 4 emblems. So I haven't come back since I beat Hollow Knight. So we're just gonna give this a minute and we're gonna look at all this cool stuff that I got. Now, the Grass Crest shield is really good for stamina. I have no idea when this is gonna end, by the way. It's a lot of stuff. We're still going. So how's your day going? We're getting to some stuff that I remember getting. Okay, we're getting to the stuff that I got in Wind Waker. Okay, we're approaching the end of the massive list. We're done? Okay, we're done. Okay, I need 4 emblems. That's it. In every way, it is not better. Which means we truly are the Reaper of Dark Souls now. It hits hard. It swings relatively fast for being a great scythe. And and it's going to allow us to hopefully do some nice things to some bad people. Emblem. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go outside, because we have the tower key now. About this way. We're going to meet an NPC that we could have met at the church, except I went to Rosaria's bedroom first, so I can't actually do that. But it's fine. Got to go up here. And going here. Try not to die. Easy peasy. All the way up here. Heard a metal clank just now. That was us getting locked in this tower. Don't worry, we're going to fix that problem really quickly. Okay. An alluring skull. Not the greatest thing in the universe. But we're going to make our way back down. And meet our person. You might like him, you might hate him, but he is the one.
Sorry, friend.
The only Patches.
Be more careful. By the gods, curiosity is gonna kill you kittens. Some places are better left alone, you know. Oh, sorry. Am I a tad too late? Have no fear. Besides, you're surrounded by ladies.
Here, we have to jump from tomb to tomb and make our way down without slipping and falling and dying horribly by breaking every kneecap we could ever have. I'm gonna really hope this is at the bottom of the room and not halfway down. There we go. This is where they throw all the dead firekeepers, by the way. Impressive Picto Box. Okay, that's a Wind Waker item that unlocks a whole 5 checks, I think. But that's more than 0, so checks that lead to checks are good checks. And now we just go back inside Firekeep Shrine. All be fine in the end. Alright, I'm pretty sure you have to make your way back up and around. Yeah, he's up here. Hi, Patches.
Ah, oh, you're alive. Now, hold your horse. Oh, come. You get these urges. You know what I mean. You're alive.
I'll forgive him.
Oh.
And then he becomes a shop. Shop has really expensive armor. Got it. What is this? Something useless. Got it. Do I have enough souls for this? I think I do. Yes, I do. Okay. You. Instantly regret our life choices. But it's fine. Run up the tower again. Cross the bridge, but this time we're going to drop down right here because there's little lips that you can catch. This, fall safely here and kick down the ladder so that way I don't have to do that again. Back here is a little crystal boy. And you can one-shot it. Look, a missile expansion. Okay. You mean there was a check I missed? What do you mean it was up here? I see it. I'll be right back. Okay, so back inside the tower, you can see it's right there, so I'm just going to try and make a corner long jump. Oh, that's such a tight jump, and my health is not happy with me. Fragile heart and an emblem. We just need one singular emblem now. One. Just one. And there's a high chance I know where it is. We're gonna go back real quick. High Wall of Lothric, believe it or not. I go to this one. Because we have the Jailer's Key, which actually lets us get an NPC, which has a shop. Chance of him having an emblem is pretty high, considering there are 50 emblems left unaccounted for still. No. No, I'm not dealing with you anymore. Especially right now. None of that. That one's still locked, but that's not the door I need to worry about. I did that just for the cool points, I'll admit it. But, come down here and we can use the Jailer's Key ring to free Grey Rat. Who is a good little backstabber.
You're no jailer, are you?
I'm not.
No, you're from far away. You must be some of that unkindled ash. Remarkable. Below the high wall is a musty little town, not the home of any lord. An old woman, Loretta, lives there. Please, give her this ring. I'm not asking for charity. In fact, if you do this for me, I'll be sure to repay you in kind. I may be a petty thief, but I've more wits than most royalty. What do you say then?
Yes.
Very well. I am Grey Rat. Give this ring to old Lorette, do your pa.
The bet has paid off. The bet has paid off so well. Oh, the odds of that happening were not high, but I bet it all on that. So, we'll see you back over in Sonic. Alrighty. In the top left, it's gone. The gate thing is even gone. And let's hope this is an easy boss. It's not, but I can beat it. So I just need to spam. And if I do this right, I can kill it before it permanently breaks the platforms. Come on. Come on. Come on, because it's insta-kill Sans down there. Alrighty. Okay, that was the last boss needed.
Select a stage.
That'll give me the last set, including Skyrail. Why is that considered done? Oh, because that was a check for Hollow Knight. So these are checks for Hollow Knight. Okay. Okay. That's kind of cool. Okay, but we do know there is a check behind Skyrail for Shadow's third Skyrail stage. Let's do Skyrail. We're gonna need every check. Luckily, they're all kind of compressed in this level. So you break this Chow box, those enemies appear for some reason. I die. Demon Conch. Demon Conch is very good for Terraria because it lets me just teleport to the underworld for free. Get some free style points by jumping off that rail. Okay. No. No. I'm not gonna talk about that one. Okay. I'm gonna jump over here, enemies are gonna appear. You bounce off that, that's where you get Ancient Light for him. Twinkly Titanite, doesn't really matter. Oh. That's true. Okay. I'm going to take a flying jump off the side here and land right there, which will land us right next to the Chow box. Split leaf greatsword. Okay. Bounce our way all the way up here. As high as we can go. As fast as we can go. That's not as fast as we can go. That's faster. There we go. Okay. Gonna take this at full speed. Full speed shadow. And thing. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Chow box. Easy. Homing Crystal Soul Mass, a really good spell. Not what I need. Not at all what I need. Hold on. And Goldie. Missile expansion, not bad. I'm gonna need a lot more missiles to fight fight the final boss of Metroid, so I'm not gonna complain there. They only have, I think, 100 missiles. 100 is not gonna do it. There's 255 in the game. 100 is not gonna do it. And gold ring.
Here we go. That wasn't so hard.
No, it wasn't.
Select a stage.
Alright, I'll see you at 100 rings.
Here we go.
And just over a minute.
Ultimate victory. Select a stage.
Seed of a giant tree. I don't remember what that does. But I'll see where the Chow is. It's not too far into the mission, actually. Okay, so just before the second checkpoint, there's the Mystic Melody Shrine. It's right behind these boxes. And you just light dash around, and you just go up, and up, and up, and up, and up, and up. And there's the child.
Here we go.
And this is something actually important.
Ultimate
I can't remember what it is at the moment, but I know it's important. Earth Temple Small Key.
Select a stage.
Okay, so that's gonna let me finish the Earth Temple. And Final Rush, I know I can get a lot of stuff in. We're gonna go do at least one part of Final Rush. And there's the first chow box. Rotten pine resin. Someone didn't take good care of it. You need to put that stuff in the fridge, guys. And we're going to take these rails all the way down. There's the next chow box. Lightning bolt. Okay. And we're going to take one of the most fun rail sections in the game. All the way down. Except right near the end. For this, we're going to grind all the way down. And we're going to go onto this rail. Jump off at the very top. And there's the Goldie. Dragon Slayer gauntlets. Nice. Sadly, this is where we get stopped without the bounce bracelets. This is as far as we can go into the level.
Select the stage.
We can do Aquatic Mine, level 1. Turn that down. We're going to grab this. Going to go into... where is it? Yeah, this corner. There's the Goldie. Night chunks. How do I get the feeling it's moving? Oh, there it is. Okay. And we are going to... down here. Come down to this hole. Now we have the air necklace already. We don't need to worry about this. This is where you get the air necklace. Which is kind of humorous, if you ask me, because the air necklace is only useful for 2 parts. And one of the 2 parts is where you get the air necklace. So. But for the point of making a check, we could just make our way up here. An Estus shard. Another Estus flask for me. I will never complain about that. Ever. We're still missing Knuckles' Mystic Melody, but I can go get that real quick. Just swim up and over that. Up, 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 up. Thank you for the 5 rings, Knuckles, but I don't need those right now. Alright, where? Yeah, I think I know where it is. Yeah, of course it's in here. Luckily, I had to come in here anyway because... Chow box.
It's closer.
Yeah, it's in that box.
One more left.
Hey. Drop down. Make our way over here. And we're gonna grab the last chow box before we actually leave the level for the first time. What we're gonna do is drop all the way down. And it's gonna be right here. Old pine resin.
It's closer.
Oh. Underneath the skull? Yeah. Okay. Alright, I have no doubt that that's going to be an immediate A. It's too fast not to be. Yep.
Yeah, this is
Eggman's Mystic Melody. Okay. Okay,
Select the stage.
without the boost jets, that's not really gonna help me too much. That's kind of funny that that gave me that. Already done. Yeah, that's not gonna help me with anything. But Aquatic Mine. No, I need the Mystic Melody. That's on me. That's my bad.
Select the stage.
I can go get where his Mystic Melody is normally.
Find the 3 pieces of the Master Emerald hidden somewhere around here. Use the radar at the bottom of the screen and hints to help you find them all.
Alright, you just break open the middle boxes and dig through this part of the thing. And apparently that's where the Chow is. Wrong mural. This is the one you're supposed to dig through for Mystic Melody. Simple mistake. Apparently it was already auto-found.
Select the stage.
I didn't notice that. That's on me. Death Chamber, 100 rings. Oh, Green Forest I can do. Good old classic Sonic Rock. Whee! Gotta keep running. Howdy. I know where most of the stuff in this level is, but not off the top of my head. I know that I missed the gold beetle just now. Homing attack all the way back here. There's the Ancient Light, which is Sacred Flame. Found a bunny. Okay, found a bunny. Make our way all the way down here. And around we go. Chow box is down here. Undead Bone Shard. Man, we're gonna have like maximum Estus Flask recovery after that. So many bone shards. Now we've already gotten this, apparently. But, as you can see from my ring total, this is going to be a really, really easy 100 rings. That's really the thing between Sonic and Shadow levels, is Shadows are always harder. Like, they're the same theme as Sonic's, but they're always harder. I missed the checkpoint, but I'm not going to die, so it's fine. Especially because the exit's right there. Hit the spring, fling around, and wait till it hits the bottom. Sure, you can be a bit riskier with your jumps if you want, but no point.
Yes!
So, what does this give me?
Huh. No problem.
Triforce Shard number 4. Okay.
Select the stage.
Well, I'll see you at 100 rings, and you already know where the gold beetle is, so I'll pop it. 100 rings down.
That was cool!
And blue wooden
Select
shield.
the stage.
Not useful, not worth it. I don't remember how hard or how easy 100 rings is in this level. Alright, it took forever for me to find the 100 rings, don't look at the time.
I have to try hard.
But I did find 2 of the chow boxes.
Select the stage.
That was just an emblem. Alright, time for the 2 Tails racing levels.
The president must be over there. Let's go.
Where Tails the Fox has to find the President of the United States.
I'm getting closer.
Tails, did you find the president?
Almost, Sonic. Just a few more minutes.
It's less of finding the President, Tails, and more of just catching up with him, because you know he's on this road. Yeah, I found the President!
Yeah, I found the president.
Just said that, Tails. Don't steal my thunder. Alright, and then I'll be doing the exact same thing again for 100 rings. And that's 100. See what it gives me.
Select the stage.
The other Earth Temple small key. Apparently there were 3, and apparently you need all 3. So that does mean that I could full clear all of that really easily, in fact. Actually, no, I can't. I need... at minimum, my fire arrows, which is 2 levels of progressive bow. It's just means I would really, really need to get her iron boots to break stuff. Alright, so I knew it'd be short, I just didn't know how short. That's all I got for Sonic. So I suppose tomorrow we will do a bunch of stuff in Terraria. Possibly beat the Ice Queen. Because I'm on tier when it comes to the armor. Which means if I can get the rest of the stuff that I need, I might be able to do that, allowing me to beat Dark Souls. And if that happens, well, that might just clean sweep everything. So I'll see you then.